A baby cries at night. 3 people get up, not one. None of them carries this baby's genes. For most of human history, that was ordinary. A crying child was everyone's job. Today, 1 or 2 adults handle it alone. So what changed between then and now? In 2009, anthropologist Sarah Blaffer Hrdy published a book called Mothers and Others. Her argument, raising children never depended on one parent. She called it cooperative breeding, and humans are built for it. Mothers, fathers, grandparents, older siblings, and unrelated adults all pitched in. Biologists call these extra caregivers alloparents. Without them, Hrdy argued, human children would rarely survive childhood. Anthropologist Barry Hewlett spent years with the AKA people of Central Africa. He tracked how much time fathers spent holding their infants. AKA fathers stayed within arm's reach of their babies for nearly half of every day. Compare that to a typical day in a modern nuclear household. Melvin Connor spent decades studying the Juhwansi San in the Kalahari Desert. He counted how often young children touched another person during the day. Infants were in physical contact with someone almost constantly. Crying stopped within seconds because someone always responded. In 1997, anthropologist Kristen Hawkes studied the Hadza in Tanzania. She noticed something odd. Grandmothers dug more tubers than anyone else. Their own reproductive years were over, but their labor fed grandchildren. Hawkes called this the grandmother hypothesis, one explanation for human longevity. Menopause freed women to invest in grandchildren instead of new pregnancies. So picture a hunter-gatherer, child's actual day. Nursing continued on demand until age 3 or 4. Birth spacing averaged around 4 years between siblings. That gave each child years of undivided milk and attention. By age 4, children joined mixed-age playgroups without adults nearby. Older children taught younger ones through games, not lessons. A 6-year-old might carry a real knife and use it daily. David Lancy documented this pattern across dozens of societies in his research. In many cultures he studied, children were treated as capable workers early. Western childhood, with its long, protected, school-based years, is the unusual case. None of this made childhood easy or safe. Historians estimate that in many pre-industrial societies, close to half of all children died before adulthood. Spreading care across many adults was not sentimental. It was survival math. More eyes on a child meant more chances that child lived. Around 10,000 years ago, agriculture began changing this arrangement. Farming tied families to fixed land and private stores of grain. Property meant boundaries, and boundaries meant fewer shared resources. Children increasingly belonged to one household instead of the whole camp. Cities later pushed this further, especially after industrialization. Extended families scattered for factory jobs and city apartments. Grandmothers, aunts, and neighbors stopped living down the path. By the 20th century, the nuclear household became the default unit raising kids. Formal schools replaced mixed-age play as the main place children learned. So here is what actually happened before kids became a private project. For most of the last 300,000 years, a child grew up with dozens of invested adults. Mothers nursed for years, fathers held infants for hours, grandmothers fed grandchildren, older kids taught younger ones. No single adult carried that weight alone. Then farming, property, and cities pulled caregiving into smaller and smaller circles. Today, 2 adults often do what an entire camp once handled together. History built this arrangement over 10,000 years, not personal failure. The baby crying at night hasn't changed since the beginning. What changed is who runs when it cries.